Well, Facebook, there was no warning. Big news this week, a worldwide backlash basically after shutting Australian news out. This is just unbelievable. Do you think it's going to backfire on them?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, they're absolutely losing the PR battle right now. They're not. The rest of the world is really condemning what they've done. Their actions were pretty severe and swift, and actually the output of that, the fallout of that was drastic. It left a lot of people stranded, but. The rest of the world, though, it's very encouraging to see that other parts of the world, like the US, it made the US the floors of power there, the halls of power, the House of Representatives were talking about it. Even the UK and the EU were also thinking of drafting similar laws so that they're following Australia's lead. So there's a lot of countries that are looking at Australia as a bit of a test case at the moment, because Facebook is this juggernaut that is hogging most of the advertising dollars, along with Google. News houses are trying to produce quality content. It costs money to do that. And they're seeing that their revenue's reduced and going to Google or Facebook. So it's a real battle. I think people think that this isn't a move for Facebook to completely fund the media, but at least to contribute to subscribe to their services so they can use them on their platform, because Facebook makes money when people share links, when there's links, quality news links on the platform. They gather all kinds of data. They use all that kind of information. People like it. People share it. And this just paints better pictures of all of us to give to their advertisers. So it's all about the data. So they are making money. The worldwide data market is $229 billion US. So don't tell me they're not making money by harvesting data. Google's in the same boat. Google's agreed to terms. Google is on board, and hopefully Facebook will be too. It was such a sudden and drastic action. I'm hoping that they realise that. I think it's better to cooperate and to come up with an agreement that suits everybody.
But when you got that kind of money, and without being the devil's advocate, but Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know what the stats are, but over $100 billion. I mean, this guy started it in a college. Is there an end game here? He's always doing things or, standing up against things for an end game, for something that they're thinking about.
Well, Facebook in 2020, their profits were $32 billion. So they're doing pretty well. So it's that with that kind of profit and just the sheer size of Facebook, it also brings a lot of power. They've got a lot of influence, and having a lot of people on their platform and being able to monitor what they're looking at on the platform, to monetize what they're looking at on the platform. That's the whole thing. That's a whole other debate about what Facebook is doing to democracy. We've seen plenty of things that appear on Facebook that are questionable. This is what really upset me, is that we've seen on Facebook there's been a lot of fake news, there's been a lot of misinformation, hate speech, all these other things that appear on their platform, but yet with one keystroke they could remove every news article. You think with that sort of power, they could have removed all those other unfavourable parts of the platform as well. And unfortunately, there was a lot of innocent victims in this whole saga. Like a lot of community pages, health pages. My Tech Guy page has been knocked out, despite the fact I've paid thousands of dollars over the years to try to build my Facebook community. Facebook have got my money, but I don't have a page right now. So I'm one of the victims as well.
And, this week after the event, Prime Minister Scott Morrison has, he's going to be talking to world leaders, including in India, Narendra Modi, to back us up. So this is certainly a big issue. And as you said before, Australia is the first one in line for this situation. Yeah.
Well, it's good to see that we're getting support. I think other countries are realising that this is a thing, that this is affecting what news is seen, what news is reported, how it's reported. So it's really encouraging that other big countries that also way bigger than Australia. The issue, I think, is that Australia is a small enough market to be a real test case here. So it's a worry that maybe Facebook might think, look, it's only Australia. We'll see how it goes, and then worry about the rest of the world later. But I'm really encouraged that we're standing our ground. We want to try to do the best for ourselves, and other countries are recognising that.
I got it a bit wrong. He's not worth 100 billion. He's worth 70 billion. But what do you think happens? How does this finish?
Well, I think just take a look at what Google's done. I think Google realised that, look, it's let's form a little union here, create a model that there's a revenue share where everyone gets what they want. Facebook want the eyeballs. Facebook want the data. News want the eyeballs. News want to be seen. They don't want to be ripped off in the deal because their ad revenues are dropping. They need to have some sort of news center on Facebook, and they had been working on that so that all the news appears in one place, and the news outlets can actually control and improve that center on Facebook, because a lot of people rely on Facebook for their information. To them, that's their internet. The Facebook is their place where they see what's happening in the world. The news comes to them.
Well, it certainly was dominating the front pages of pretty much all of the newspapers yesterday. Titles like Facebook and the thumbs down, and yes, as you mentioned before, top stories across the world in the news world. So it's a huge story, and it's not going anywhere too soon.
Absolutely not. No, I think we're going to be talking about this for quite some time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate that.
No worries. Thanks, guys.